Just don't be offended, innit?
Supplying dope to the black and the Mexican communities.
Cool. Let me quickly introduce this. Hello, welcome to our podcast, presented to you by Breakable Entertainment. I'm your host, Ricky Bowley. With me, as always, is my co-host, Junior EV.
What's going on?
We got cameraman CNT here. And today we got an esteemed guest with us. Esteemed guest. This is Black Excellence right here. This is Black Excellence. No, listen, I don't give these words out to just anyone.
You gotta say it how it is.
Do you know what I mean? This brother's out here winning best web series left, right, and center. You know what I mean? That's why I think on YouTube. I see him on the red carpet doing it big. Do you know what I mean? And he's making big moves ready for 2021 and 2020. That's how you always stay ready. You never have to get. I mean,
We try, bro.
Always on point. We got Adjani Salmon with us today, brother.
Yo, bless for that, yo.
Yo, man. Like I said, thanks for coming through, man. Before we get started, what we want to do is quickly just ask a quick icebreaker question. Just to see where the static is at, see where you're at right now, So quick question,
Yep.
Would you rather work a high-paying job that you hate, or work your dream job with only enough money for basic necessities?
I take the high-paying job and then pay for the job that pay to do my thing that I love after.
Oh,
It's kind of cheating.
that's
Kind of cheating.
listen.
How is that cheating?
Because it's like you gotta pick one or the other. That's the premise of the question.
Like, that's my thing, innit? Like,
I'll
what's the thing?
I'll give it to you. You came in there with no rules. You know what I mean? You said.
Yeah,
I'm gonna grind it out with a high-paying job. I'm gonna suffer the lot of money, and then just go off and do my thing. You know what I mean? So clearly, he's praying for a long life. I respect that. I respect that.
boy, I'm trying.
I respect that, man. No, but it was to get started then, bro. Quickly, in terms of your journey, So just introduce you first. Let me introduce you some more first, actually. So obviously, for those who don't know, Adjani Salmon, he wrote, directed a great web series, on YouTube called Dreaming Whilst Black. Now, I remember I watched it maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. I remember watching it, and then I heard that. You know what I mean? I heard that he's with the corporates now. He's picking up, he picked up a little check, and then I said, let me go back and watch it again. I watched it again and I was like, raw, this is a great web series there. I said, yo, some of the experiences I've seen on that show, I said, I've been in that situation right there. All too familiar. They're messing up your name here and there. They can say Lomachenko mighty easily. They say, and they start butchering it. So I said, this is a great piece. So obviously, that's who we've got with us today. So,
Thank you, bro.
and he acted in there as well. Bro, listen, man, he picked up all the checks.
To be fair, I directed the last episode. It was a group of friends of mine.
Yeah.
Kind of just came out 4-quarter films. We just said, fuck it, let's just make our own shit in it. So we just came together. And man, everyone else was in directing. I have a writing partner as well for it as well, Ali. So yeah, man, it was a massive team. I'd love to say,
It's just you.
I did the whole thing, but nah, there was a big and supportive team that kind of did it with us.
Okay, that kind of leads us on to our first question then. Now, leading up to Dreaming Whilst Black, what was the journey like for you? Like, what led you onto the path of becoming a writer? Like, what was the key moment where you said, I want to become a writer?
To be honest, so it's weirdly enough, like, I remember I was like we call it second form. I think it's grade 8 here.
Yeah.
And at the time I don't know how old you guys are in it, but like, I had my mother bought me a digital camera, which would film stuff. And obviously we never even owned a computer, dog. So really, I don't even know where we were putting the pictures. But we could record films and play it backwards.
Okay.
And that was the time of Crouching Tiger, and when all of the China movie them come out with like the mad kung fu thing.
Yeah.
So we clocked, I don't know, my cousin figured out like, if we did like a fight sequence backwards, and then played that in reverse, it would look like the guy summoned a sword.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we cracked that, bro, that whole year, yeah, we just make Kung Fu movie. But then you talk about Jamaica scene, so it's like health and safety don't really exist. Like niggas we start getting worse. We got school in the country. So you start getting man where it's like, yo, so we're gonna do the fight sequence, then we're gonna like, we're gonna do a fight sequence on top of the building, you know, one story.
Yeah.
Do it on top of the building, and then we're gonna run backwards and jump off the building and just keep running backwards.
Like,
When we played it,
about to stop you, nothing, just jumping off
bro,
building.
no, but we got boarding school. This is literally just keeps running wild in the country. So when you play it backwards, it looked like the man run, jump up on top of the building, and bruv, we went ham that whole year. Anyways, grade 9 comes, what we call grade 9. Career day come, obviously, teacher, lawyer, doctor. That's it. So I was just like, all right, cool, let me do architecture. Okay. And it wasn't until went to school, started working, it wasn't until like my cousin came down. I had a cousin from England who came down. And I was, you know, driving him around, helping him with his like photo shoots and stuff. And I was like, rah, yo, like you make money out of this? And he's like, yeah, that's my job, innit? I was like, God, can I have one to that, dog? And that was it. We made a web series that summer. And we just kept, that web series landed me a job as an editor, as an assistant editor, worked up as an editor, was doing that for like 3 years, edited shows for like BET, loads of the Caribbean networks, Centric in England. And then came over to film school in like 2013 because I was just like, yo, I feel like I want to make that next step, innit? Yeah. And come over to film school. And you know, you get sold that dream of, you know, you go film school, you get an agent, all that bullshit. Yeah. And yeah, that never really happened at all. So I was working at Pinewood for like 2 years. And I don't know if you know, like Kobe, Adam, and Thomason and them. My brethren's from film school, the only black people who were in film schools at the time. Them man were just making shorts and start busting. And I was thinking, yo, like, funny enough, I remember watching hood documentaries. And it was just like, yeah. And I was just thinking, right, so this man just bust off YouTube. Like, what is this? Man went big film school, spent
he went insane.
And man just drop a YouTube thing and bust. All right, cool. And then Insecure came out. Okay. And I was thinking, rah, I remember Awkward Black Girl, yo. And now she's on HBO. And funny enough, Swill bus. Then it was like, nah, these men are taking the piss. So you're telling me I went to school for nothing? Like what?
Sorry, did you say you knew someone from Insecure?
No, but I knew the web series. Awkward Black Girl.
Oh, right, of course. Okay.
I watched the web series when the web series dropped.
Yeah.
So I just kept seeing Insecure came out. Obviously, hood documentaries dropped. And Swill drop. And I'm thinking,
let me try a thing.
Big my thing. Like, this industry, this, you know, oh, go film festival, go Sundance, London film. No one from my film school blew at the time. And I'm like, these men went YouTube and blew. So I was like, yo, let me try that.
Yeah. And then now we're here. So from there, you said, you know, Jimmy was black. You decided to create that.
Yeah, it was just like, I want. Funny enough, I didn't even think it would take so long. I just thought it would take like 6 months, people. Two tours, it took us 6 months to write the script. We shot it for like a year. At least, I don't know if may I answer questions ask me, but yeah, it just evolved. So I said the idea was just like Master of None came out at the time as well. As I said, loads of things happened simultaneously. And I remember watching Master of None and with my virgin Max, and it was literally just about that Indian actor in New York.
Yeah.
That's it. And I was like, but I'm a black director in London, so technically my character can't go nowhere where I can't go because it's me. So
no, that makes sense. That makes sense. Even the shows you was mentioned as well, those are shows that like had a real impact on us, at least. Like Insecure, Master of None, watching hood documentary, like especially because we're from like South London as well. Like seeing hood documentary was filmed in that familiar surroundings to us as well. So yeah, I can imagine that be having a big impact on yourself as well.
Yeah. So yeah, and the race thing, to be honest, I it just evolved, bro. Like I literally just wanted to make a show about a black director in London, and I feel like just as I was writing, it just started.
Just kept
You know,
going.
you start remembering experiences, like what happened in my life since I've been here, and I'm just like, nah,
Kept going.
just get this off.
How much of like everything that Quabino goes through in the series is like directly correlated to stuff like you've been through? You say like a large percentage, or it's like half and half, if you get what I mean?
At this point, I wouldn't know, because it's more like a compilation of all my friends and me into one person.
Okay,
Yeah. So like almost the black experience kind of. Like,
yeah, we tried to put just the black, and even just not even just black, like a lot of the relationship narrative. I remember when I was forming the relationship narrative, I had an idea about where that was going. And Ali, who's my writing partner, he was just like, yo, so I really feel like this, that. And I was like, oh, right. He's like, yeah, because that happened to me. And I was like, right, that happened to me. You're white. Like, you know, and just shit on set. Like, a lot of the things on set was like, you know, like, white people go through that shit on set as well, you know what I mean? So it was literally just like the pussy light thing was a brethren of mine, Spanish dude.
Seriously.
Yeah, you know, you meet up with you know, I don't know if you man went film school, but you know, every now and then you meet up with like your uni mates, or you meet up with your old school mates, right?
Yeah.
And so we meet up at like BFI, and you know, we just catching up and stuff. Oh, yo, what you been doing? You know, man's running on this set, someone's working at coffee shop, all of that.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I was a pussy like. What?
And for the listeners, quickly contextualize what you're talking about, because they're probably listening think,
So in porn, obviously when you're lighting the scene, one of the biggest areas that needs to be lit is the vagina. And obviously because a male is right on top of her, it's not well lit. So a pussy light is like a camera assistant who ensures that the vagina is lit all the time.
That's an important job. That's an important job.
That's your job. It's like a porn camera.
Wear capes, man. Not your all heroes.
They just shine lights.
Bruv, and that was legit. I remember because we had started writing the show already. Like we had scripts. And as soon as the man said that, I was like, yo, brother, I have something to add. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. One thing I did want to ask you, you kind of touched on like the process and how long it took. Could you speak a bit more to like the process of sort of filming it, and maybe like pitching it to multi-million youth media, or maybe you didn't have to pitch it, maybe they just kind of picked up on it, and just how the whole filming and putting it together sort of was like for you?
Yes, to be honest, bro, we never tried to pitch it to anybody.
Okay.
By that point, I was fed up I'd applied to Film London for a short film, got told no. Trying to reach out to agents, not even responding. By the time I was writing Dreaming Was Black, I was like, fuck everybody, I go up on YouTube.
Straight.
So we didn't even try. But what we did do, again, is using the lessons, and I always say this on everywhere I go, anytime I can. Good, cheap, quick. It's a triangle. You can only be two things. If you're two, you're not the other thing. So if you're good and cheap, it's not quick. If you're good and quick, it's not cheap. And if you're quick and cheap, it's not good. Fundamental rules. I have never seen anything that has broken that rule. Subsequently, Hollywood. I've worked on Hollywood sets. That's why I did after film school, Pinewood. Bro, when we needed to rebuild a set, they brought everyone in on Saturday and Sunday, paying everybody like £50 an hour overtime. That's how it's not cheap.
Not cheap.
If you want it quick. Like, so we knew that. So we knew we're gonna take our time, get it done. At the time I was freelancing, so I was in and out of Pinewood. But I'd go to the library every day. And again, this is a productivity thing. For me, when I was in that library, and, you know, British Library, because, you know, it's hard to work at home. I don't have an office, all of that stuff. But when you go to the British Library, yeah, and you sit down and, you know, there are loads of big desks. You see when you hear this? It just doesn't stop. No matter what you do, it doesn't stop. And you look up and whoever's working opposite you is just writing.
Yeah.
You can't even procrastinate because you're just, am I a dickhead, bro? Does it, like, so literally, if I'm not on set Monday to Friday, I'd literally use the British Library as like an office. 9 p.m., I'm at British Library. And then, boom, 5 p.m., I go home. Me, Natasha, we all used to do it. Until, funny enough, a friend of mine, JJ Bola, I don't know if you know, he's a writer. His novel was written in the British Library. That's how me and JJ come close. Because after a while, you start spot the duns who go library every day.
Yeah.
And you know, you obviously you see a black dun, you're like, yo, safe. And then after, it's like, yo, what do you do, bro? He's writing a novel. I said, rah. So we literally started talking about our ideas. He's writing his novel, I'm writing my web series. Every day, 9 to 5, we just did that. I did that like the whole summer.
Wow. Nice.
So yeah, man, it took us like 6 months.
Yeah, man.
And again, shooting, I guess, to break down. So we took 6 months to write, a year to shoot, 6 months to edit.
Oh, man.
The reason why we took a year is because, again, we have to do it cheap and it has to be good.
Yeah.
Now you're waiting on schedules. I had an agreement with a friend of mine from film school who's at DP. He was like, bro, honestly, like, obviously I rate the thing. I rate you, man. If I'm not working, I'll bust you. Under the premise that if I need equipment, you'll rent it for me. So whatever he needs, we'll rent. I said, all right, cool. But then that would mean he's free this one weekend in March. All right, cool, boom. We galvanize everybody to be ready for March. Then it's like, all right, when we can get you, like in April. Cool. April come, we now have no money. We didn't work enough corporate jobs to save up enough money. Boy, we can't do the April in a brother, so May. Give me a date in a May. May come, cool. We have enough money. Let's do a weekend again. Book. Again, Genesis higher. Some of the higher places, if you rent it Friday to Monday, they count it as one day.
Right, okay.
One business day.
Yeah. So you have it.
So we only shot on weekends again.
Yeah.
So we literally just did that throughout the year, like save, shoot. It was only till like the end of the year where it was like, bro, we've been shooting this thing like all year, bro. Like we literally blocked out 6 days, put the money in, and just shot we shot like 3 episodes back to back. Just months sat there, just to like get it out.
That is insane.
So that we could finish. But then I would say the reason why I think the web series looks like that is because obviously we took so long to shoot, right? So every time it would be like, all right, cool, we're doing episode 5 now. Naturally, we'd go back to the script and be like, all right, cool, let's see what the script are going with. All right, cool, yeah, now let's write a couple more drafts before we shoot. So the episodes we shot later are naturally better because we wrote more drafts.
Yeah.
So like episode 2, The Race, was the last thing we shot. No, it was the second to last thing we shot.
That's my favorite episode.
Bruv. And we did about 15 drafts of that, easy. Easily we did 15 drafts. So it's just like time. And money, because funny enough, you talk episode 2, for those who don't know, it's a race. We initially thought, because I don't believe in writing with limitations. So we just write what we want and then figure it out. Initially, we were supposed to have people in the stands. Obviously, when time to shoot, we look at the stands. We're like, bro, how did we think we could get 500 people here? And the director was like, yo, but what if we did like a goggle box thing? So it's like, boom, all of a sudden, Natasha brings in her vision, it's changed. Now we're filming the race like a TV thing. And then we just get different families to make it cheaper. Yeah. Bring in my cousins and my actual aunt and you.
But also, your general relatives and stuff. Those are actual relatives.
Some of them, yeah. So it's a mix. It's like, so my brethren's mom plays my mom. It's like, it's a mix. Everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Quickly before I get on to my next topic, when I was watching the episode, I wanted to know what's your thoughts on like what we like to call the rat race. Do you know what I mean? Because when I was watching that, I was seeing, of course, like with an Asian girl, she had like a brick on her back. And she, and then obviously the self, they kept like saying, you know, stay back a bit more, and everything. Yeah. Like, what's your thoughts in regards to the rat race? Is it something that you still see within like the creative industry as well? Because people always associate the rat race with like the corporate world. In the creative industry, do you see the rat race there as well?
Bro, so let me just, so the Great British Race Off, that's what the episode's called. It's actually based on data. 95% of films have been made by white men. 4.5% of films have been made by white women. And it's like 0.something% is black men and Asian men. Then there's black women. And then only one Indian director has ever made a feature film in this country, Gorinda Chadha.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but that's like,
cool.
It just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Bend it like Beckham, boom. She's the only one. And it's funny because she watched the episode. I don't know how, but she somehow watched it. And I randomly ran into her at like a cinema, literally at a cinema. And, you know, I saw her, I was like, oh, you know, let me chat to her, Gorinda, innit? Chatting. She said, oh, what are you doing? I said, oh, I made this thing called Dreaming Whilst Black. And she's like, did it have a race? I was like, yeah. She was like, yo, I watched it. I was like, oh, shit. And she was like, yo, like, the Asian woman, man. And I was like, fam, we made that for you. And she was like, trust me, I felt that. Which was so sick to be like, yo, Gorinda co-signed the thing.
No, I respect that. Quickly, yeah. So on the podcast, we started creating this corner called the Quote Corner, yeah, where we normally get a strong black voice and we recite a quote from them, yeah. So we got this quote from Nina Simone where she says, "You can't help it. An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times." Yeah. So that's from Nina Simone. So what I wanted to ask you was, yeah, as a black creator, as a black writer, black director, do you feel responsibility to speak on certain issues through your art?
100%. And it's funny because I feel like if you asked me that years ago, my mind would have been completely different. So you have to understand, I grew up in a black country. You understand?
Yeah.
So this black struggle thing, my prime minister was black. The billionaire on the Forbes list was black. The judge was black. The police was black. Even they talk about police brutality. It's like, you know, racist police brutality. For us, I mean, yes, it comes from the slave system, but it's black police beating black people.
Yeah.
Like Nigeria, which I don't know when I have to air this, but anybody that listen to this, my G, donate, make awareness. Wagwan in Nigeria is a mad thing.
Okay.
But yeah, so when I first came here, I remember my virgin was like, yo, so what, you gonna be that Spike Lee, yeah, that black thing? And I was like, bro, I don't really define that in a dog, but just I try and make movie, dog. Like, you define. But here's the thing, all my films had been about black people.
Yeah.
Because I was in a black country. I didn't do it as like, I'm on some woke shit. It was literally the people around me. But in coming here and being in film school and seeing Wagwan, I was like, bro, you know when you hear about something?
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, that's deep. And you experience it, and you're like, yo,
yeah.
This is mad. So obviously everybody knows that America racist. Everybody knows that England and Babylon and all kind of thing, you know, Bundong, Babylon, da. We all know that. But being here in Babylon, I'm like, oh, for class. Rest of them my life.
It gets crazy, innit? It gets crazy.
And it's weird because I felt myself even throughout film school, like even throughout film school, yeah, I never forget this. There's a black director. I don't know if this is a long answer, innit? But like a black director, black British guy, Thomason. I remember he forced the film school to get black actors on their roster because he's like, I only make black films. And I remember thinking, and he's my junior. And I remember thinking, this man's on crud, bro. I don't business. They're white actors. I don't care. I'm use white actors. Slowly, I was like, bro, but nah, I can't. How can I be here and not say something? That's really the question. Like, so I feel like, and everybody has their role. You understand? Because at the end of the day, black people want to dance too. someone has to make the music for us to dance to.
Cool.
Someone has to make the music for us to flex and feel good. But someone has to do something. And I just felt like, for me personally, it just felt like, yo, I need to do something.
Yeah.
So you took that responsibility on yourself and said, yo.
Yeah, man, I feel like black artists,
yeah.
I think black artists should. Not necessarily you need to do it with your work. Like, I'm not now saying Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion need to now make some black liberation music.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
Like, yeah, I'm not saying, no, she doesn't need to make a pimp. Keep making that whack, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we're rocking that. But use your platform also. Like, if you have that mass following, if you can talk to the masses, do a little thing.
Yeah. I'm with him on that. Like, I think if 2020.
Oh, sorry.
that. But no, if 2020 showed me anything, like the power of like social media, using your platform to affect a change, like we're seeing it like live and direct. I think it's like now it's more important than ever, to be honest. I had a question, sort of more specifically on the theme of the show. So, to me, the portrayal of white characters seems to be intentionally exaggerated, and by that I mean 99% of the white characters are dickheads. And yeah, it seems that was done on purpose. So, did you ever think, like, while creating, that maybe I should tone this down a little bit, or was it throughout? No, like, this is exactly how I want it, how it has to be to send a powerful message. Because, you know, there's a chance it might be sort of perceived in the wrong way in like by people.
I'm gonna answer this for you. No, but I'll let you go.
Let him.
To be quite frank, bro, I didn't even care.
Literally,
I love it.
No, but here's why though. And this is a lesson learned, actually. This is a lesson learned. So obviously we're making a comedy. And obviously we ended up making a comedy about race. So naturally with comedy, sometimes things can get exaggerated. So that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
And funnily enough, one of the critiques that I got from the show, and this is from a virgin of mine, a black don, he was like, bro, don't exaggerate white people, because it allows them to feel comfortable by distancing themselves. So they can watch it and be like, ha, 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 look at that dumb white guy. I would never do that. So they can distance themselves from the racism.
That makes sense.
So now that we're doing it again, we're very actually intentional in being like, white characters will remain grounded. It will remain funny, but it will remain in a remit where they cannot remove themselves from it. And say, I would never do that. Nah, you do. No, and we're going to make sure we portray it flat out so that you see yourself in it.
Yeah.
And ask yourself, why is this funny?
Yeah.
So, but we did. I mean, to be honest, I just didn't.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. And to be honest, especially right now, I think white people watching that will say that less. Like, that's not me, because in light of everything that's happened, like the conversations I've been having with white people is like, I'm now questioning, or the white person said, I'm now questioning myself and the attitudes I have and the things that I do or don't say. So something like this is like, oh wait, hang on, maybe there's an element of me in here, in this character, which is why it's like this series is perfect for the times right now, I think.
It's the best, bro. We're trying.
Definitely. All right, cool. So we're all from black backgrounds here, yeah? All from black backgrounds. And, you know, the black background, as much as they love the success they could get from being a creative, from being a writer, from being a director, it comes with its pressures as well. Do you mean, like, when you're still on the ground up and you're still grinding it out, after a while you start getting certain questions like, what are you doing now? Is this the right career for you? Are you sure you don't want to try to go back to this? Are you sure you don't want to try to go back to that? And obviously in the show, that was like a theme in it as well. You know, like your family, Kwabena's family was kind of asking, yo, what are you doing now? Like, what are you doing now? As a writer yourself, as a creative, in your personal life, is that something you've ever, you know, experienced? Is that something that you feel?
Yeah, man. Up until Dreaming was black. Listen, so at episode 4 with the family dinner, bro, we didn't make up one line. We never make up one line in that. That's straight out of conversations I've had with different family members. Just copy and paste. Look, done. Episode done. Like, but, and I understand. It comes from, like, my mom wants me to be okay. I'm the only child. She's raised one black boy. She wants to know that when she goes, her black boy is okay. He can take care of himself. And that's a genuine fear, right? So, but all they know is safe jobs, right? Like, you know, careers, which is why most of us work in government.
Yeah.
We're nurses, we're teachers, we're in healthcare sector, education sector, all the sectors. Safe jobs, your insurance seal up, everything, have house, good.
Yeah.
So for her, and for my mom and my family who grew up in England, so they were born in Jamaica, came here, you know, when they're old, and then went back to Jamaica.
Mm.
For them, who was the black filmmaker?
Yeah.
Who was there other than Lenny Henry? So for me to say, yo, I want to go film, literally my mom was like, how many black people make it in film?
Mm.
I don't know. At the time when I got the stats, I was like 5% of film school grads make a feature film. And when I said that, she was like, how much of that 5% is black? I said, I don't know. I mean, shit, I'm the only black guy in the school, so I don't even know how many niggas make it.
Yeah.
And she was like, tell me, she only knows Steve McQueen. She's like, I was like, oh, there's no Clark. They're like, what's that? Nah, I don't know him. So even then it's like, there's a genuine fear. This fear is not from nowhere, dog.
Of course.
And it wasn't until Dreaming Was Black came out because we premiered it in Jamaica and England at the same time. Actually, we premiered it in 6 countries at the same time. People, sometimes I forget the madness that we went on. Like, but it was when they were at the premiere in Jamaica, they were like, oh, the road was blocked because of parking, because over 450 people were there.
That's a beautiful feeling.
And I wasn't there. That's the bigger thing. It's not like I called all my high school virgins and said, yo, come down. I wasn't there. That was when my uncles were like,
he might be all right.
He's actually the thing. Even then, my mom was like, yo, so where's the check?
Like, parents want to know where the check is, you know?
Yeah, that's it, bro.
Always want to know.
This awards thing is cute. I win an award. She's like, is it prize money? Because what's this trophy? What's that? What can you buy with that? I'm concerned about if you can pay rent. Can you buy food? Can you eat?
Yeah.
Like, so even now, every time I call my mother, it's like, oh, so any new jobs? Because it's legit, bro.
Yeah.
So I think they're less on my back now, but there's still that concern, like, yo, this shit ain't sustainable.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you kind of feel like that pressure almost sort of drives you to do what? Obviously you have your internal drive, just to do what, and your ambitions to like write and do what you love, but do you find that extra bit of motivation as well? Yeah,
bro. And to be honest, again, because I left architecture.
Yeah.
That's a career. You know what I mean? To do film. I'm like one of the first, I think of my direct lineage from my grandma. I'm the first person with a master's degree. Most are the 1 degree done. I don't have a master's in this shit. Why? Only one with master's and you're broke. What's this? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're the most qualified and least paid. How does it make sense? Like, and so I do feel, because I want them to, like, my parents work hard, yo. My mother worked hard to get where she is. So I don't want to now just squander that and be like, oh yeah, I fucked it. Forget this generational wealth thing. I'm dead in it. So like,
that's some serious pressure to move with.
Yeah, but I feel like pressure's necessary. I think pressure's healthy. A certain amount of pressure's healthy. But just knowing, bro, my grandma came here in the Windrush era. She used to run a shop in Clarendon. She moved here and cleaned hospital floors. Cool. My grandfather came over next. He was a tailor and a pastor. So that's where my family's coming from.
Okay.
Their children became nurses in that same hospital that my grandma used to clean.
Yeah.
Cool. My uncle worked in a factory, moved back to Jamaica, turned out mechanical engineer. My mother became a barrister. Like, that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, raw, my grandmother came here with a dream, legit. And her children, pew. So now for me, I'm like, how am I building on that legacy of the immigrant story? I can't just, and cool, I've decided to do arts, whatever. But how am I building on that?
Yeah.
And so I feel there is a pressure of like, nah, they've sacrificed for me. So I need to build on the thing. So when my kids look back, I'll be like, blood.
You better get moving.
You know what I'm saying? You know how much work, man.
Nah.
So yeah.
Cool. I wanted to ask you what so in terms of you kind of talked about how like black people are kind of underrepresented on like sets and stuff like that. What was your experience been like of that? It's like I'm on a set and there's hardly any black people or minorities here. There's like, does that come with certain like, obviously we have like workplace microaggressions as well, obviously within the corporate space, but and how like is that similar in like a film setting?
It's worse, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I worked in Pinewood for 2 years, 2.5 years on film sets as a in the greens department. So this is very specific, which was like building the outdoor sets, so planting trees, planting grass, laying all the brush up the walls, that kind of shit. Cool. Literally made a forest in a set. Now, these are just like, I remember when I went to the interview, dog, I had a master's in film. Most of the people I worked with, GCSEs, A-levels done, boom, work on film set. Now, the first day I was on a shoot, and I feel like I can't say the name of the shoot contractually, but I'm on a shoot. Me and there was a Bangladeshi guy. Yeah. I don't know why. I didn't know the Don, but for some reason we're sitting beside each other in the lunchroom. I don't know. Subconscious comfort. I don't know.
Yeah.
White guy comes in. Fucking hell. It's the United Nations in there now.
Jesus Christ. Oh my days.
It's all
Scared.
That's
People bust up laughing there. People bust up laughing. I look up. I don't get the joke. I look around. One Asian done, Jaff. Me, Jaff. About 50 of us in there. United Nations. 2 man. 1 black guy, 1 brown guy. I said, this is day 1. I said, rah. I was just like, yo, what's your name, bro? Because clearly, we need to be virgins in it. Our survival depends on our friendship, bro. And you get that shit like that all the time, bro. I'd be on set, and so there was one other senior black guy, but he wasn't on my film. So anyways, he came over to on another project. Me and him were on the same film. So now for the first time, 2 black guys in the same set. Yay. He's a senior, yeah? This guy is like 6'4", bald head, muscle like, you know, them tongues, black, the kind of black man where some white man love off. Now, he's on holiday, yeah? And now I'm here. Now, on the know me, see me here, yeah? No bald head. He's lighter than me. I'm clearly not no muscly guy. I hear white man. Ahmed! So I'm working. Ahmed! I said, Dan! Fucking cool, Ahmed! And me and Dan are working. And Dan's like, oh, Johnny, I think my guy's calling you, you know.
Fuck you, no.
Me? I can't mean my call. Me no name Ahmed. I just kept working like I don't hear, man. So I was like, he said, Dan, do you tell him? I said, bruv, like, what are you doing? I said, bruv, tell him Ahmed ain't here, innit? And I was like, Dan was like, oh, it's Adjani. Adjani! I was like, you out there, mate?
Can I help you?
How can I help you? He said, did you ever call? Nah, you call me, bro. I was So slowly, I just started. I was just like when I realized that these men are gonna have me in it, like I'm sick.
Yeah.
I just stopped having it, bro. I was just like, I'm not. Yeah.
No,
But yeah, man.
you have to
Film
be
set,
there,
that
coach,
shit.
and all that.
That shit, and it's funny because it made me realize as well. So Brexit happened when I was working in Pinewood. And I remember how these men were going off. Some of the men, not all. Some of the guys are actually lovely. And yeah, it's actually such an interesting experience in like white England. I'm gonna really leave London. I like black areas. Like right now, I live in a Tottenham. I used to live in a black space. So there, bro, talking about Brexit, the way these men would talk about like Romanians and take our jobs. And I remember thinking, brother, how many foreigners are on this set? Because there are at least 200 of us. How many foreigners are here? I said, wait, before you say me, bro, I have a British passport. So don't even try it. I said, bro, I'm a British citizen and I am the only fucking black guy here, bro. So please tell me which job they're taking. What's happening there? So you see the whole thing, but I will say, bro, some of the guys are cool, innit? Some of the guys are actually.
Yeah.
You?
Don't know.
Oh, all right, cool. So this is obviously when I spoke to you about this before, you said, you know what, you're gonna think carefully about how you answer this, just in case.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
So, all right, cool. So, you know, when you're writing, obviously, like you said, it took up nearly like 2.5 years to put this all together. So I can imagine there were some long nights when you had to, you had to upset a couple people. Do you know what I mean? Upset a couple people. You couldn't show up for everything on a social level. So you have to make this more specific. You know, at times you might not be able to show up for certain ladies in your life because you had to grind out, you had to work. Yeah. So what was that like for you when you're writing? How's the women like for you in that time? Because I can't imagine you being able to commit 100% to women at the same time being able to write.
How many links did you have to flop? I'm joking.
That's this guy, bro. Now, bro, you know what? To be honest, and it's funny because I'm doing therapy now, actually, and it's not on like crazy man's great. Nah, just I want to be a better person, and I realize I've read enough books. I've read enough books to know that I don't know and I need help in getting certain places, especially if I want to get to the next level. And one thing I've realized is, bro, every major project I've done, a relationship has ended during that time. When I was making my grad film in film school, before I finished that film, me and my partner at the time mash up. I had a partner during Dreaming Whilst Black. By the premiere of Dreaming Whilst Black, me and her mash up. And it's weird because both times they were super supportive, super understanding, give bare space. Let me help you. My ex used to cook for the set. Can't afford catering. It's cool. I'll cook for the set. Right? And there became a point where I really had to think, bro, like, all these relationships flopped because of you. You're the problem, bro. And noticing the link between a strong project being made, or for me, a life-changing project being made, and a relationship flopping, I had to think, yo, what's going on? And it was funny because when I was talking to my therapist, she's like, but the next 5 projects you do will probably also be life-changing projects, right? 100%. Because your first TV show will probably be a big deal. It's life-changing.
Yeah.
But then your follow-up series will probably be big as well because you want to prove to everybody that you're not a one-trick pony. Then you might want to make a feature film, but that's your first feature film. So you're going to make sure that your first feature film, but are you just going to keep getting relationships and mashing up every time you make new project? And it's funny because even just more recently, we were talking about just the idea of love and wanting to do stuff or doing stuff because it's convenient
Yeah.
or because you should do. You should get married. You should have kids. You should do that. And she said, you know what? I've never seen you speak about a woman the way you talk about your projects. And that spun me, bro. Because I can categorically say that I loved these women. I still have love for these women. But just that makes me think, yo, like, she's like, the way you broke your back to make Dreaming Whilst Black. But as soon as something's a little bit inconvenience for you, from a relationship standpoint, it now work. Dreaming Whilst Black was not working.
Yeah. I
bet I broke my back to make it work because I wanted to make it work.
It's a very triggering conversation right now, man. Give you that for free.
And you know, and you have to ask yourself, she literally was like, do you want a relationship? Or do you just want company?
Fuck, you know. Hey, this ain't therapy, it's a podcast, come on.
No, you see what I'm saying? Like, and that's the realness where, for me, she was like, listen, stop talking to women because you like their company or you enjoy spending time with them. They want a relationship from you. So if that's not something you're willing to work and build, fam, just tell them you're trying to beat and go. Don't keep spending time and sending false messages and, you know, and then when bare time passes and they ask you for commitment, now you're saying, I don't know. You commit to your films and they see you commit to films.
Yeah. So they know you got,
they know you can commit.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it just made me have to really think and say, right, like, actually, how much at this moment in my life do I want a relationship? Yeah. And even though I know that I've been my best, those women categorically lifted me and carried me through, bro. When I'm out here burning down, man, because cameraman pull out because he got big job. Now we already pay for location, but cameraman pull out because what, man got job, as if we haven't spent all of them. She's there. Yeah. She's there when I'm stressing. She's there. But I get so tunnel vision because I just want to make this film. Yeah. And I think for me, I'm in a space now where unless I want to have a relationship with someone and I want to make it work, I won't do it just because I like them or just because I love them, because love is not enough.
That's real. That's real.
You understand?
That's real, yeah, that's real.
Like, you have to work on it. Like anything. Your love of film is not enough, my G. Yeah, you can't just love film and be filmmaker. Mm. So how can you just love woman and make woman relationship work? You have to work on it.
Sacrifice, commitment. There's a lot of that goes into it.
Bro, and so that's funny enough. That's why I started therapy. And like, even now, we're writing Dreaming Whilst Black again. And I'm like, yo, I'm writing a black character who needs to have flaws, but I don't want to be your stereotypical black character. So like, definitely hashtag black man don't cheat. No black man in Dreaming Whilst Black will cheat. It can't happen. Not happening on the show. Right? Now, but then we still need to have flaws. Corbin still needs flaws. And so I was like, yo, let me read about emotional intelligence. Let me read about, let's give him those issues. Like, man has commitment issues. Man has these other issues. And I'm reading these books and I'm thinking, nah, that's me, bro. What? Like, even, I don't know if you guys know this, there's a book called The Game. It came out years ago. Like, How to Get Gal, The Game. It's like by a pickup artist, a professional, a man whose profession is to get gal. That's his thing. And he wrote, I remember that's in uni when this book was circulating. Everyone's like, indicators of interest. You have to give them the nods, which is like negative compliments, all this bullshit formula, whatever. And he wrote another book called The Truth. Now, The Truth is set when he's in rehab for sex addiction. And he's basically saying, oh, that thing that I was telling you, man, about get gal, bro, dead that.
That's gangster, I wrote a book, it's a lie. I write an expert saying, yeah, it's a lie.
It's a lie. I was lost. That whole thing that was funny was lost. But even just so understanding relationships, and that just made me realize, bro, like, yo, like, if you don't want it, bro, you have to work on yourself. You have to, like, be able to be vulnerable. And I guess for me, as an artist and as a Black man, where we don't really have safe spaces to express ourselves, that's why all my art is so deep. Because that's my outlet. I don't want to talk about my relationship, so I'm going to make a whole web series dedicated to that relationship. Like, you see what I'm saying? But that's my outlet. But I realized that, bro, that's not, releasing is different from expressing. You understand? Release is like a pressure valve, bust, it's bust open, it's gone. The problem is not solved. You just released tension. Which is why them say in Jamaica, like, when a man come to him senses. You're like, shit.
Personal clarity, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
It's like the limitless pill.
That's the strongest 3 seconds of your life. You think about everything.
Bro, so yeah, man. So it I would say that it's tough. Having a relationship during making films was tough, but it was tough because of me. And my lack of commitment to the relationship and my lack of appreciating what they were doing for me.
I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like I don't think you're all the way there just yet, but it sounds like you're definitely in the process of
trying, bro.
discovering yourself. I mean, that's all we can do, man.
That's why when the next time you see Dreaming Was Black, when I'm talking all these things, next time you see the layers of the relationship, my never would be like, yo, we need to have discussions about
No. I'm not gonna lie. I'm already thinking about skipping the episode. I ain't gonna lie.
But it seems like all of this is kind of like, it'll be sort of beneficial to you, like, next time, I guess, you are sort of considering entering like a relationship or something, because it's like, if you actually commit to it, it's like, you know, it's something you actually really want because you've had these kind of conversations. Which is dope. Like, everything kind of like happens for a reason almost. Like,
yeah, for sure. And yeah, man, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a great answer. Listen, man, I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple of our boys that's gonna watch this back and listen to this. Yeah, I'm gonna get some messages about this part of the conversation for sure.
I hope, bro. Like, yo, we have to, like, yeah, man.
You know, because honestly, what you're saying wasn't like, it didn't feel like. Of course, you're saying it from an aspect of, you know, way of writing and stuff, but even just away from that, some of the issues you're talking about, is that, you know, expressing it, releasing it. You know what I mean? Just really understanding what that girl needs, what the girl needs and whatnot. And just a lot of things you're saying there, like, these are issues I know a lot of men are going through. You know what I mean? So that's real, that, you know what I mean? It's vulnerable enough to share that with the entire podcast right now, honestly.
Yeah, man, not trying that, cause you can't, yeah, man. Black man, too much time, black man, they're there for us, bro, and then we're just not there for them. Yeah.
Black men do better.
Do better, right? Yeah.
So obviously, to be fair, throughout this, you gave us a lot of tips in it. That triangle, obviously, so just to give us a bit of context as well. Unbreakable, we write short films as well. You write short films, and you've released some are in the works. So, for example, like the triangle, I'm going to keep it on mind. So
keep it, bro. Trust me.
So definitely, 100%, bro. I'm taking that. I'm either taking that to another room. Like, yo, triangle. You know what I mean?
Golden rule, bro.
The triangle. But just in terms of just for like writers and whatnot, I think one thing that I've experienced, and a lot of my writing friends have experienced, is, you know, writer's block. When you reach that writer's block, when you get to that point, what's your ways of getting out of that? Like, what's your methods of getting out of writer's block?
So it's easier to edit than create.
Okay.
That's why they're more critics than creators. Every man watch a film, oh, that's dead. That's dead. Shut up, do it then. Like, but in terms of writer's block, I try to keep writing. Even if it's shit, I'll write something I know is dead. The deadest idea, write it. Because I'll sleep and come back and be like, rah, that is fully dead, bruv. But I'll know why it's dead. So now I'll edit it. So it's like layering.
Yeah.
Write the shit and then just start layering it. I feel like a lot of time writer's block comes from like, I want it to be perfect. The first draft of everything is shit. That rule, I'm yet to break. I'm yet to see someone break it. I know, many want to call it, but Kobe, again, my brother from film school, again, man's doing big BBC, bare things in the works. Anytime he sends me a first draft, I'm like,
This ain't it.
it's never it.
Yeah.
And that's the point. And when you accept that the first draft is always shit, I guess sometimes what stops me is sometimes I don't know the world. So it's like, if I'm writing this way and I get stuck, what else do I know? Oh, the ending. Look, let me write the ending and start tracking back. Might get stuck again. Look, why am I getting stuck? Maybe I don't know the world. Let me research the world a little bit. Okay, cool, come back, research the world. Okay, that makes sense. Let me talk to people. Just because sometimes, I love telling people my stories before I write the script. Or just any process, I tell people my stories.
Yeah.
Because from everybody knows, say, I'm a filmmaker. Every man have an idea, innit? Oh, you know what you should do, bro? Yeah, right. That's dead. Spark, I know why that's shit, but actually what would make that not shit is if you did da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. This idea, I feel like sometimes we're so protective of our ideas sometimes. Nah, I don't want to, I might teeth it. Anybody who's made a film understands that no one's going to teeth a film. I remember when I was writing Dreaming Whilst Black, I was telling everybody I'm writing Dreaming Whilst Black. And my brethren was like, yo, dog, you can't tell a man them because obviously a man might teeth your idea and run with it. First of all, ain't no white people interested in teething this story. And they're the ones who have the money to actually do it quick.
Yeah.
Second of all, if I told you, man, the story, and I'm shooting, and I just told you the idea, and you're not going to write, shoot, edit, you know how much, you guys make short films, you know how much labor it takes to make an idea come to life. Fam, you don't have the labor for the damn thing with your teeth. But it just, when you share it with people, and if they're not interested, even if I share it and they're, oh yeah, nah, that's cool still, it's dead. They're not saying it's shit because we're brethren. They're just being polite. But when I say, even my cousins, I live with my cousins. Anytime I say an idea to them, yo, that's it. Anytime they get animated, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. So I would say just write through it. Write nonsense, literally write gibberish and edit. But also, I think specific to writing, and I guess because I'm not a natural writer, I write, Bob, the index cards on my wall. I write the story first. Because sometimes, you see when you write a script, bro, you get bogged down and edit it. Oh, maybe let me change dialogue. My nigga, the whole scene needs to go. But you won't know that because you're so caught up in dialogue.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're just writing the story, this happens, that happens, but that happens. Therefore, this happens, then that happens. You can look at the story and say, okay, some part of this story don't make sense because blah, 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 blah. Right? So you haven't stressed yourself in writing a script. You're just writing the story. Does the story make sense? So by the time you're writing the script, now you know, actually it is the dialogue that's the issue because I've worked out all the story issues prior.
Okay.
So that's another way. And I do this still for short films. Anytime I started writing a short film a couple weeks ago, I was like, it's just a short 5-pager. Let me just go straight to script. Got to page 3. Fuck it, let me go back to the cards. So yeah.
So it's almost like you're saying, start with the big picture, think big picture, and don't get bogged down.
Yeah. Always start big picture.
Gonna fight a losing battle.
Yeah, start with, okay, a character wants to get money. Cool. Character wants to get money, but he's broke. Cool. Character wants to get money, but he's broke. But he sees a guy driving past with a Benz. Oh, maybe I could thief some money. Maybe he has money. Just build it slow. Build it slow. Just build it on single line sentences. And then you just layer up, keep layering up.
Comes like that.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
see. Where the hell? Okay. But, so when can we expect to see the finished product then? In regards to what you're working on now, when can we expect to see the
So Dream Was Black has been picked up.
Okay.
And hopefully you'll see it. We're supposed to shoot the pilot at the end of this year, but Corona.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the end of next year, you'll see Dreaming Was Black again on a streaming platform.
Okay. Big.
Quickly as well, you literally just mentioned, I just thought of it as well. How's this period been like for you, sort of work-wise and creatively? Like the whole lockdown and coronavirus, has it been sort of not too different? It's been a bit tough, like as it has been for many people. Like what's it been like for you?
You know what, bro? I feel shit saying this because people have died, millions of them. But for me personally, it was really good.
That's good, man. That's a positive.
And that's real. And it feels terrible even saying that because I know that from personal friends, like a friend of mine died, bro, which was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You understand?
Sorry,
and I couldn't even fly out to Jamaica because the borders are closed. You know, but in terms of personal development, I feel like it's like a virgin of mine, Chadley, he said, 2020 is a year of perfect vision. But people didn't know what they were going to see.
Realness.
And I feel like 2020 has been revealing for me. The start of lockdown made me really think, bro, what are you doing? Like, you're riding this Dreaming Was Black wave for what? What's the plan? What's the end game? What are you trying to do? And I got into this wave of like, almost sadness, but like, or depression, but then again, in terms of productivity, remember how I was telling you about the guys in the library?
Yeah.
I literally made up a routine with a virgin of mine, Lionheart, great poet. Yeah. We'd FaceTime each other from 12 to 4 every day, every single day. 12 to 2 is reading, 2 to 4 is writing.
Yeah.
And we FaceTimed each other. So if a man get up, yep, where you going, bro? Man just got in the toilet, innit? Or, are you on your phone, bro? No. Yep. So we monitored each other. Yeah, 2 hours reading, 2 hours writing every day. Boom. Bro, the stuff that has come out in that lockdown because of that regiment.
Fruitful. Yeah.
Bruh, beast. Bare books. These are the books for 2020. I've read half of them easily. And half of them was lockdown. Just, I don't even read fast, but 2 hours. But I don't even read fast, but I spent 2 hours a day, every day. That's 14 hours a week on reading solid. That was for 4 months. So when you add up the time, it's about that consistency. And that's why, again, there's a book here, Deep Work. It talks about that, about concentrated, conscious effort. And for the lockdown, for the most part, that's what I did. Mm-hmm. And it would literally just be 12 to 4, and I'm not working. Even if I'm right, 4 o'clock, brother, I'm done. Close that top, finish. I'm not trying to stress my brain. Yeah, have a task, accomplish it, leave. Yeah. So that was really good. And then Black Lives Matter came, bro. Again, another fucking tragic thing. I was out in the streets marching. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But Black Lives Matter happened, and all of a sudden, oh, hey, Johnny, we're looking for a director for our new... Bro, I ain't heard from you in a minute, bro. You remember, man? All right, cool. Have you had an extra £50 for black tax, though? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know why you're calling me, so man's just going to drop an extra £50 on the day rate. But since that whole George Floyd thing, bro, as soon as lockdown opened up, beer work. Everybody wants a black writer. Everybody wants a black director. Because I work in corporate films as well. corporate and like commercial work.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So it's shit. It's shit. But there've been silver linings.
No.
You know?
100%. You gotta find the opportunities. You gotta find some sort of joy and happiness within all the
Yeah,
madness going on. You know what I mean? Any joy that you can pick up, you gotta cherish it, man. So you shouldn't even feel bad.
you have to take that.
Honestly. So obviously you actually write and you direct, yeah?
Mhm.
What would you say you prefer the most out of the three of them? Like, what's your
Directing, straight up.
directing? Yeah? Why?
Yeah. I like, because for me, directing, yeah, it's almost like being a conductor of an orchestra, like a maestro, but also like a curator of like an art exhibition.
Mm.
So I like that. I like bringing together ideas and artists. The cinematographer's an artist, the sound designer's an artist, the actor's an artist, the writer's an artist. And my job is to choose the right artists, bring them all together, allow them all to express themselves to get this vision out. Boom. So I like when, you know, I'm talking to the cinematographer, okay, I'm like, cool, let me talk to the actor. So I want you to I need these two guys to do two different things to get this one thing. It's like maths. And for me, I love, wait, by the way, are you hearing this noise up top?
A little bit, but it's making it authentic, so we're good.
Yeah, oh my God. Let me know if you want me time for actually.
That's what I'm saying, authentic, right?
Where else?
Hold on. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, just quieter, innit? Just quieter, like. So, yeah, man. So for me, I like working with actors, the play that we get, like, you know, let's work scenes together. Let's, you know, I like to get in it, you know what I mean? And for me, with the camera, I love putting it together. I love the edit. I love being like, all right, cool. So they say you make 3 films. You write a film, you write 1 film, you shoot another film because shit goes wrong on set, and then you edit a 3rd film because of all the shit that went wrong on set. So, but I like being in the edit and that play of let's get the artists together again. Now we have an editor here. Okay, this is what we want to do. How does the music complement what the actor's doing versus what we want the color to do? What does that all say together? And that's why I say it's like a conductor from an orchestra. Because you have the violins, and then you have the double bass, and then you have the drum, and you have the guy who just, that's all he does. But his thing is important as well, even though he does it like 3 times. So it's that play of like, yo, how can we compose this piece?
Yeah.
So that when they watch it in the cinema, people are like, they're getting that full experience. I genuinely like that part. Writing is cool. But it's lonely, man. Me and my laptop just, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I like storytelling.
Yeah.
So when we get bogged down to scripts, I'm like, oh man, this is dead. And again, you talk about writer's block. Like, I need to not distract myself on my phone. I'm not, yeah. I like writer's
Hit
rooms.
it on the head there. It's a lonely road, man.
It's a lonely road, bro. Like, so yeah, man. And acting, honestly, as much as I love acting, it's so vulnerable. I'm just,
yeah.
I couldn't do it every day. Like how actors just come, job.
Yeah.
Every scene, especially women, bro. Every actress we auditioned for Dreaming Whilst Black, the web series, had either a rape scene or some form of domestic violence scene.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is, I don't even know, wagwan. I don't know what that says about the industry. Or when people are trying to come up, because obviously these are short films and shit.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine, okay, cool. Today we're gonna do you've been violated.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to cry. Cut. Okay, cool. Cry again. Cut. Okay, white shirt. Yeah, cry again. Huh? Nah. That's why I'm like, Jimmy was black. Break.
I can respect
That's,
that.
yeah.
So obviously you're going from being self-produced with Dreamers Black is all by
Mm-hmm.
yourself and work with your team and your people to move into a streaming platform.
Yeah.
So like, how have you seen the change within that? Like, how has everything changed from the self-production to obviously everything on a larger scale? Just that.
Man, the rules are different, bro. And to be honest, the scale's different. Now we're writing half hour. Now we're writing shows that will sit beside the shows that I look up to. So the levels are different now.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot more hands. I haven't come up through the Film Londons, the BFIs, the Creative Englands, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not used to, I'm used to getting notes, but I don't have to listen to you. I can just be like, your note's dead, I'm doing what I want. Right? Whereas now it's kind of like, okay, so we need to cut 5 pages from the script because the script's too long. I'm like, oh, but it's too long.
Just has to be done. Yeah.
It just has to be done. Like, there's nothing to, it's like, rah, I have to listen to you. You know what I mean? And I guess in terms of the power dynamic as well, it's very much like, sometimes people don't tell you to change stuff because your idea is shit. It's just that you haven't expressed it properly.
Yeah.
But then not everybody who's telling you no or giving you notes are creative. So you have to now be able to speak in a language that breaks it down to people who are not creative.
Yeah.
Which is another thing where I'm just like, even pitch documents. What? I just write script. I write story outline and script. That's all I write. Now you're telling me I need to write the whole ethos of my show in 1 page. I could never sell, to this day, I still wouldn't be able to write Dreaming Was Black in a 1-page document.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to do now. And if you can't do it, you ain't getting that script commission, so you better try your best. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's interesting. Just the red tape. Again, it's like, okay, we want to shoot. Okay, cool. They have to approve a director. Okay, cool. Then it's like, okay, cool. Can we shoot now? We have the director. Oh, but obviously scheduling in terms of how we broadcast, we want it to come out at this date. So, we're going to wait until X date. And I just want to make.
You're working with a lot of different people's schedule, man.
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to do stuff. So that's been a bit of a, like, and to be quite frank, it's kind of like, bro, I don't like white people telling me nothing. Like, I don't like nobody telling me nothing. Worse, I don't like white people telling me nothing. But it's like, this is the game, bro.
Yeah,
and it
yeah. No,
but I just have to get used to that. Like, yo, it's not in my court anymore. It's not up to me anymore,
Exactly. You touched on something there, in regards to, just having, white people in certain positions of power. So obviously, when you're creating your scenes and whatnot, have you ever seen that there was, like, let's say, cultural differences or nuances that you had to maybe explain to somebody that wasn't from that world? And what's that experience like when you have to, explain those culturally rich type of scenes?
I mean, I think that's just black. That's just any black person in any profession in England, I feel like. And my writing partner is white, ironically. And, like, it's weird. Like, but it works because he understands that he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
But what that has done actually has been a really interesting thing, which I wanted to touch on earlier, but I can touch on now as a good segue. Not because you've lived something means you understand it. This is something black people need to fully understand. Not because you grew up black means that you understand blackness. You may not even understand your own life. Not because you've lived something means you know it. That's key. Like, and in having a writing partner and us working on certain scenes, he'd be like, oh, like, what, you know, he suggests a scene. I'm like, nah, we wouldn't do that. I was like, oh, why? Black people don't do that. And he's like, why? Why? There's certain times where I'm like, I don't know, we just don't do it. And he's like, but bruv, that don't make no sense. But being able to articulate, and sometimes it would be like, actually, no, the reason why we don't do this is because of X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Right? But in other things, so for example, in Dreaming Whilst Black, there's a makeup scene where he, you know, they put makeup on him.
Yeah.
Or his girlfriend puts makeup on him. I was vehemently against that scene. Niggas
Yeah,
don't do that.
I was like, you know what? Fair play, we're getting flexible here. I respect it.
Yeah, you see that?
We're getting flexible.
Right. Hold on, sorry. Let me give you a joke about that. I was like, bro, man, them don't do that. He's like, it's a cute moment. Da, 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 da. I've done it. I said, nigga, you white. That's why you done it.
Of course you done it.
And he was like, but why don't black people? He's like, nah, I'm not letting this go. Why don't black people? He's like, ask your black friends now. So I go in my WhatsApp group. I'm like, yo, man, them. Who in has ever make a girl put makeup on them? Obviously, you see man flat. Y'all think that. Da. 2 2s, you see 1 and 2 man being like, nah, actually, bro, like, nah, like, oh, nah, my girl's done that before. Your girl's white, she don't count. Like, it's like, I was like, then other duns were like, nah, actually, nah, bro, like, my girl's done that. Obviously, you know, she's black, innit? Like, it's something girls do. And I had to concede, like, this is not a racial thing. This is me and whatever masculinity issues I have, why I think black people don't do it. So I said, you know what? I'll concede. We wrote the scene. You know what the joke is? If you ask some of a lot of black women who watched the show, they were like, that scene is where they were like, nah, this dude's hard. Because they said, it was refreshing to see a black man comfortable in his sexuality to allow a woman to do that to him. I said, rah, is that what this is?
Yeah, no, I was about to say I respect it because, you know, Corbetta, he done it. But Johnny, would you do it?
Johnny would not do it. You understand? But it's that thing of being able to articulate why. I think, and that for me, bro, even reading, now it's like reading books on blackness. Yeah. I now understand, like, bro, being black, you don't just get it. That's why you have some rich black people are like, oh, you know, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You don't understand that exceptionalism works in their favor. Yeah. They bring up one token to use you as an example as to why all the niggas who are there are just lazy. Not knowing the structural issues that make you the way you are, that make us susceptible to violence and knife crime and poverty and the structural issues that bring us into these things, right? Yeah. So you have to study it. And yeah, man, but working with white people has really had to make me delve in to understand our experience so that I can articulate it to them. You understand? Yeah. So when I jump in and I'm like, all white people in the show are racist. What? I can just say that on some Hopestep shit. But now, I'm like, nah, if you want to come to the TED Talk, I can dissect that for you. Just in the same way that all men are sexist. To varying degrees. Yeah. But there's no way you can tell me that there's a man who's a full feminist in his heart when from birth till whenever awakening, you are getting fed sexist content. We fully watch these anime shows with the girl and with the big titties, all of that. Yeah. Watching James Bond, Sean Connery, full on a box up girl in her face and then make out with them. I used to love James Bond. I love James Bond. No, but Craig ain't the best one, but yeah. But Prince Brosnan is a full on gallus. That's what I want to be. Full on sexist. That nigga talk about attachment issues. This a man that can't get a girl. James Bond, I know he can't in our relationship.
Johnny Bravo. You know the cartoon Johnny Bravo. Listen,
Johnny Bravo, bro.
I was sitting there watching that like, yo, he said something. If I go to reception, I can just do that. I was on the climber frame going crazy.
You know, so it's just, yeah, man. So, but I do think working with white people has forced me to truly understand our experience. Yeah. So that I'm able to articulate our experience. And not just for them, but also for myself and my own storytelling. Yeah. that's where the nuance is coming from, my understanding. Right? So now I know, like, even when we're casting girlfriend roles, I'm like, I was straight, light skin things can't get this role, you know. Speak.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was wondering if that was like a that concentrated effort.
I said, listen, me. Oh, but it's all black in it. Everybody's black. It's black girls. I'm not like the footballers. Okay. Well done. Like, you know, like footballers. But like, let's talk about colorism though.
Yeah,
it's not all just black. All black isn't black. So for me, I was like, I can't project that onto the screen. There's enough. Every rapper have a light skin thing from their music video. There's enough light skin representation. And it's like, okay, how about just a black girl being the love interest, man? Like, just...
Yeah. No, listen, sometimes it's that simple.
It's that simple, bro. Like, not every day deep role. Because, you know, black women get Viola Davis, bare deep roles, in it, deep, meaty stuff. And we love it. Why can't she just be a man's apple of a man's eye, bro?
Yeah.
You know, if it's so deep. So, you know, yeah, representation matters. So, but you have to understand that in order to create that.
No, 100%. That's definitely something that, you know, when you watch shows now, you're a lot, I think because of everything that's gone on, a lot more women, like black women especially, speaking up about how they felt watching TV growing up and stuff like that. Like, you take a lot more of a concentrated look as to, like, all right, what's that character doing? Why is she like that? Like, for example, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Do you know what I mean? Like, having, you know, on the dark skin of Viv, she was smart, she was a teacher, she was a strong black woman, she really held down the family. Then when the light skin of Viv came in, it's kind of like, yeah, she just literally just gets to chill out, gets to live the life of luxury, she barely looks after baby Nikki, like, she just chills. So, you know, I'll definitely hear what you're saying.
So that's why we have to learn, man. Like, we need to study what we're talking about. You have to study life. If you want to make a good film, this is one of the notes which I got from film school. They were like, if you want to make a good film, you have to study life, because films aren't about films. So why are you studying film? Film is about life. You need to study life, and then you'll make a good film. So that's why I try to study the Black experience, study emotional intelligence, study psychology, study painting, study art, study music. Not necessarily go to school for all these things, or necessarily read books on all these things, but at least listen to all these things. So not even just then, through Dreaming Whilst Black, I've just opened up my palette of music completely. Yeah. Cause me, I'm one of them yard man there where when I go party, me just chill with my juice till dancehall come on, do my thing, dancehall done, me done. Now it's like, cool, understanding the different palettes, understanding like, what's the purpose? Why is it that pop music is so popular? What do people resonate with? Yeah. You know, like, why do we listen? Why do we love Adele? What about Adele's music and that genre that we connect with? So even then, as a filmmaker, when I'm now bringing that knowledge back into a film, I can now understand sonically what I want music to do. Okay. You understand? Yeah. It's like, actually, and it works in the sense of, like, I'm doing a scene, again, a bad example of this is soap operas. Breakup scene, cue the sad music, crying, sad, all of that nonsense. Whereas films, you're talking about, he's sad, but really, this is what he needs. So we're gonna layer a music of optimism upon his sadness. So it builds that subtext in the audience. Yeah. So they get both of them at the same time. The actor does one thing, the lighting does another thing, the sound is another thing. Boom. If you don't understand music or have an understanding of what music can do, you can't really talk to the composer like that. Yeah. You can't really talk to the music supervisor like that. You understand? So it's, man, it's that's why I try to, like, you know, just keep learning, man.
Yeah. It's sick you say that, because I think, if I remember right, you kind of did something similar, or whoever did for that scene, I think, when Quabinar decided that he was going to pursue the film instead of stay with his girl. It was like the song was almost, it was like a kind of sad song, but it was like upbeat at the same time. So it's like, it's sick how you said that. And
it's not because he's sad,
yeah,
but like, bro, you about to chase your dream.
Yeah.
So like, so the actor, so Kwabena is sad, but what's gonna give the audience the dream bit? It's the music. So even though they just get the two, it's duality, and that's why I love them, because you can. Whereas reading, you understand linearly. You can only read a sentence linearly. Whereas orating, speaking, audio, you can only hear it in a linear way. Whereas film, you can give audience simultaneous emotions at the same time. Bare emotions at the same, because you have different art forms playing with simultaneously. So yeah, man, that's why I love film, as you can see. Yeah.
No, honestly, you can see the passion straight away.
Of course.
No, honestly. All right, before we wrap up here, I ain't gonna lie, I've got a cheeky question here, yeah? So, you're smiling, but...
Yeah.
All right, you ready, yeah? You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
You gotta turn your camera off when this comes on. Just so obviously, I've got an actor friend, yeah. I've got an actor friend who recently finished with film school, with acting school and whatnot, and trying to find his feet in the industry. Got a couple of extras and whatnot. He was in Blue Story that came out. Yeah, he was an extra on that. We're trying to see if there's a way that we can find a way to slide him into Dreaming Moss Black in some way, shape, or form.
Send it CV, bro.
I mean, I will do that. I'll do that on this right now.
Look, listen, I'm open, and I'm all about new voices. Send it to the cast. Send it to me. I send it to the casting director. So the casting director is aware. Yeah. And then when time comes, we have that conversation.
100%. I reckon what I'll do is that once we wrap up, I'll just send you over his headshots, just so you can look deep in his eyes, so you know, like, yo, this is a serious brother. No, honestly, Johnny, honestly, bro, I was gonna say, on behalf of everybody in this room, man, this has been like one of my favorite episodes. Like, I've picked up real gems. Like going forward, we're writing a web series ourselves right now. Like, there's real gems that we're gonna go away from and really
do it, bro.
I'm about to go draw a triangle on my roof right now. They don't think I'm doing Illuminati. I think, no, this is a Johnny triangle. You know what I mean?
Yo, I live by that, man. I'm glad. Thank you for reaching out and being here, bro. Like, obviously, reach out to the man, to the man thing, and share the story. Cause that's how we grow, bro. Like, you don't have to have the same hard journey as me, cause I've had it. So I've done some of the grime work to be like, yo, listen, don't do that, cause that will cost you money. Like, or don't do this, or do this, or do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that's what it's about, sharing.
No, honestly. Yeah, I reckon, you know what, once, the world gets to see this masterpiece, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm declaring it a masterpiece before I've even seen it. I noticed that. There's no way this is a masterpiece, bro. This is what I could tell. By the time when this masterpiece comes back out, we need to find a way to get a physical episode in just for us to redo this conversation all over again. Just like, this time, obviously, this is Johnny just before he picked on that quick BAFTA. I was like, yo,
you know what? Let me claim that now. Cameras are on.
I
think I'm putting in there, Dreaming Whilst Black will win BAFTAs.
Amen. I think
3. I'm putting a number on it. 3.
Hey, come on, man. Black
and we're doing that now. It's fun. I said Dreaming Whilst Black was gonna get picked up before it was picked up. Boom. Here we are.
Man,
God's plan.
Come on, man.
I say it again. God know him need for do. So when you see that time come, they be like,
he said
2020, man said that,
you know what I mean? Wow, that's beautiful.
And then we can say that's the power of manifestation. That's the power of God, bro. That's the power of faith. You understand? That's the power of work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I promise you something now, man. After you said this on this podcast, when I'm watching the BAFTAs and I see you go up there, man, I'm gonna cry a tear of joy. Do you know what I mean? My mum probably looking at me like, why are you crying at this another man? I say, Mum, listen, he spoke to us about black masculinity. Let me have this moment. Do you know what I mean? Let me have this moment. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait for the world to see this. And whoever's listening and have not watched the web series, listen, go get ahead of the curve right now. I promise you. You ain't gonna regret. You ain't gonna regret. Honestly.
Bless, man.
Honestly.
Yeah, and make sure you share your work with me as well, bro. Like both of you, like share what you're doing with me. And again, I read, watch, all of that. It's each one teach one, bro. If I could give feedback anytime, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely.
that's what it's about.
We appreciate it for real. Appreciate it for real. So yeah, I think on behalf of everybody in the room, we say peace, love, and prosperity, brother. I can't wait to see what's next in the journey, man. Honestly, this is gonna be a beautiful thing. Don't be a stranger, brother. Don't be a stranger.
Man, over here.
Thank you for coming through. And yeah, man. Lessons, man. Everybody say your goodbyes.
Oh, brother, have a good one, man.
Love, bless, man.